Good morning, Terrans. How are you on this Wednesday morning, April 11th? This is your favorite alien speaking, and I would like to do a video to explain more of comprehension. Uh, from an alien's point of view, anyway. You know, the last, I would say, 6 months or so have been kind of interesting here. Especially uh, what you called your government and the way you govern yourselves, and also the way you look at things. So let's start with a report today out there of scientists who say, quote, any civilizations that existed have croaked. Now, like I told the scientists, they look at things through your eyes, and that's not the way to look at the universe. The universe does not operate on Einstein's theory of relativity or laws of physics. They don't govern everything. You think that you have absolutes here, which you really don't. I mean, you don't have absolutes even in your government. You give people passes, you give companies passes. I mean, how many companies have blown the money and you bail them out? But yet you don't bail your so called citizens out if they're way in the hole. You don't say, okay, it's time to reset. So whatever you owe, you're zero today. And we forgive your past and start from the future, but we won't be as nice in the future unless you watch it. You don't do that. I haven't seen that anywhere on this planet that somebody's done that. But yet you do it to your companies. I mean, Chrysler should have been dead a long time ago. Ford should have been dead. Delta should have been dead. General Motors should have been dead. You know, Peugeot over in France should have been dead. And Fiat should have been dead a long time ago in Italy. So you see us an alien from another planet? I don't understand the way you govern yourselves here. You have these artificial entities that you created, and yet you treat them better than you do your home citizens of flesh and blood, as you call them. That is crazy, guys. And then you have the scientists who say, oh, any civilizations out there have long croaked. There's plenty of civilizations out there, I can assure you of that. And they're laughing up a storm. Because to them, you guys are equivalent to Marconi with his wireless telegraph trying to communicate with them. Can you imagine? Beep, 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 beep. And you're at the other end hearing that? Well, what do you know? Because this is centuries old technology. So would you recognize it at first? No, unless you're a hobbyist that loves history. They would say, oh, yeah, I know what this is. It's wireless. Yeah, no, you wouldn't recognize that. Like an SOS. If somebody sent an SOS, would somebody today recognize it? No, because SOS doesn't exist no more. You don't have that. Remember CQD? Somebody sent that? That doesn't exist no more. Nobody knows what CQD is. So see, Terrans, this is what I'm saying. And then your scientists with stupid remarks like they do, they should say, we haven't found anything yet, but that's because we're searching on a limited basis with primitive equipment, and therefore, who would want to talk to us with a telegraph? And you are trying to communicate at light speed. Of course it's going to take a long time. Even, if somebody was over in Tau Ceti, which is only, 12 light years away, but say their civilization is 1800s, would they recognize your signals? No. And of course they wouldn't recognize it because it's all spread up. I mean, you don't have the technology to send a complete signal from here to Tau Ceti intact. And if they sent you a signal intact, it would be what you would call here on Star Trek terms subspace, a lot faster than the speed of light. And you guys don't have the technology to read subspace, do you? No. But and when we read your stuff over there, like I said, it's more like it's like Chinese, and all you guys are speaking Chinese. It doesn't even sound Greek. It sounds like Chinese. So, see, this is what I'm saying. Form a frame of reference when you're trying to communicate with aliens, and don't say, "Oh, they will understand English." Hello, we're from Star Trek. We got a translator here, because they'll have to know your phonetic of language. And with all these languages that you got there, and even all the versions of English, I mean, can you imagine an Aussie out there? Hey, mate, what's going on there? Yeah, yeah. Or how about a British? Oh, hello, old chap. An American? I love my Constitution. Yeah. I mean, they'll look at you kind of funny. So, see, this is a dilemma that you guys have. Also, look at the way you're governing yourselves. You got the United States and Russia threatening each other. I mean, and Twitter threatening each other. What kind of governments are those? We can understand Vladimir because he's from Russia, and Russians are Russians. They haven't changed. Tsar Nicholas used to run it the same way. Tsar Alexander and Peter the Great. They haven't changed. They're still the Russians. But you Americans, you're supposed to be changing. That's what you said when you formed the United States way back in 1789, when you formed the Constitution, as you guys call it. So what are you doing threatening? It's like your kids on the block. You cross my block, and therefore I'm going to clobber you. And what are you fighting over, Syrians? You haven't even come to comprehension to what the heck is human being. Well, but put it way even further. You haven't even decided what the heck is, like in this case, Georgian, let alone American. The Russians are Russians, and they are whatever they want today. But you Americans, you haven't decided what you are at all. Since 1789, when you formed the Constitution, you never decided what the heck is an American. A British? Well, you can tell the British. He's a pain in the ass. But still, he's a British, and everybody knows that. A Spanish? Yeah, same way. Except that they'll do one thing and give you the other hand. So, you see, an Arab, it depends on where you come from. Because there's no such thing as one Arab. I mean, you could have the Arabs from Saudi Arabia and the Arabs from Morocco. And by the way, for you Americans, Iranians are not Arabs. They are Persian, as you call them, and they speak Farsi. They have the same religion as the Arabs, but they are not Arabs. And they have a way of thinking that goes way back to the Greeks. And they've hated the West since the Greeks, especially since Alexander the Great clobbered them big time. So that's a chip on the shoulder that they have over there. They don't care who it is in the West. Greeks, Romans, Americans, British, we hate you all with a big passion. So this is my main goal. You guys as Terrans haven't decided what a Terran and what the hell is a Terran anyway. I don't know. To me, a Terran is somebody who wants to blow each other up. So until you tell me what it is, let me know. Thanks.